What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? You are now listening to Hair Talk with Brianna. It's a podcast where we dig into the thoughts of the beauty clients, young and old, male or female. I am your host, Brianna. Now let's start the show. What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? This is the very second episode of Hair Talk with Brianna. And today's topic is going to be a little different. We're asking a question here. The question is, should you and would you go to a stylist outside of your race? Whether it's a barber, makeup artist, hairstylist, esthetician, would you go to any of those professionals that's outside of your race? Let's talk about it. All right. Should you and would you go to a stylist outside of your race? Right. So I've asked that question over 100 times, but we're going to just keep it at 100. Right. So say for instance, I asked that question 100 times and only 5 of those people said yes. Right. And I can understand that because of the 5 people, they were licensed cosmetologists, licensed barbers, licensed makeup artists and estheticians, and they were able to see firsthand the other race do their own races, or the other race perform services on their own races, right? So I can understand that, they had firsthand of seeing that they are capable. But the other 95 people said no. And you know me, I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to always ask why. Why? Why not? And here are the answers from the barber clients. They said no because they don't know if that barber knows how to fade or not. They don't know if they would go to them because they don't know if they can cut curly or straight hair. They also said that the culture is different, so the outcome is going to be different. And I don't want them to mess my haircut up, right? Then we have the makeup artists. Their clients said that they wouldn't go to another stylist outside of their race because they don't know how to match the proper foundation with my skin tone. Or they don't know if they've ever done anyone of my skin complexion. So, which means if they didn't have any one of my skin complexion, which means they wouldn't have my color in their makeup kit, right? And I don't want them to mess my face up, make me look bad, right? And then we have the hairstylist clients. Oh my God. The hairstylist clients had so many reasons of why they didn't want the other race to do their hair. And the reasons were personal, they were religious reasons, old way of thinking. It was all over the place. But they did have some people that said the same thing over and over and over again. And here are their reasons. They said that they don't know how to do straight or curly hair, right? They don't know how to do proper hair color. They don't know how to do a correct blowout. They don't know how to do a proper or a particular haircut. And I don't want them to mess me up, right? That's what the clients are saying. That's probably what some of you are saying, because I've asked some of you. So I want to say that this kind of thinking comes up because of the past, right? And we are talking about stylists and the race, right? And I want to say a long time ago, white beauticians and hairdressers had no desire or didn't, want to do people of color. And if they did, they only straightened it via hot comb or relaxer and put some curls in it with the roller or whatever method they used back then. And then the black people, they didn't have a desire or were forbidden to do the white person's hair because of racial issues, right? It was a racial issue, and I'm gonna just put it out there. I wouldn't be doing you any justice if I wouldn't be saying the truth, right? So it was just a racial barrier between the black stylist and the white stylist, or whatever race you were. It was just a racial barrier that kept us from crossing over to the other side and doing someone else's of a different race's hair, right? So, and then, the black people, they didn't have many resources, but Madam C.J. Walker came about. It changed everything. She was the first black female millionaire, right, of the beauty industry. She came and changed everything. So that kind of thinking went on and on and on with all races, right? Even with Asians and Mexicans, etc., etc. It went on, and it stopped because racism began to die down. And I'm not here to talk about race in its entirety, but it is what it is. It's part of the topic. And things became integrated. Things started to desegregate. Your workplace became integrated. The churches or religions became integrated. Then we had our neighborhoods started to become integrated, right? And then after the neighborhoods, the schools became integrated. Which brings me to beauty school. Back then you did have your all-white beauty schools. Back then you did have your all-black beauty schools. But now every beauty school, I want to say 98% of the beauty schools are not of just one race anymore. You have your black, white, Mexicans, everybody. Everybody is in beauty school when it comes down to race, right? Well, a lot of beauty professionals can do their own racist hair. And I want to say that I can remember, I was in beauty school and I was at State Board, getting ready to take the test. And we were all standing outside because they still had some students testing to get their own license, right? And so we had to wait and, remain quiet. When you're testing, you don't want to disturb anyone. But anyway, we were outside talking, and it was just so tense because we were all scared, afraid to fail this test. So we were talking, and I asked another black girl. I said, "What school did you go to?" She told me the school she went to, and we began to conversate. And she said that she didn't know how to do black people's hair. And I was a little startled. You don't know how to do black people's hair and you're black? That's what I asked her. And she said no. She said, no one in my family is natural. We all have relaxers. And the ones that don't have relaxers, their textures are naturally straight. And I was like, okay, I can see that. And she said that she tried to go natural, but it just wasn't for her. It was too much. It was too much for her to deal with early in the morning. She had her kids, and it was just a lot. She had to work and go to school, so the natural hair wasn't for her. Being natural wasn't for her, so she just put a relaxer in it. Well, the other girl heard us talking, and she chimed in. She said, well, I know how to do black people's hair, but I don't know how to do white people's hair. And it just blew me away. I was like, are you serious? And she said, yeah. And her hair was curly. It was real curly. And I asked her, I said, do you have a perm in your hair? And, I could talk to her in that sense when you say perm, because it's called a permanent waves. But to everybody else, a perm is a straightener. It's like a relaxer. But to her, we know that a perm means permanent wave. You permanently adding texture into someone's hair. So She said, no, I don't have a perm. This is my natural hair texture. My mom's hair is curly. I don't know about my dad, but my mom's hair is curly and my sisters are curly. And I never had a chance to deal with someone white with straight hair because of my own curly hair. They thought, that I was black, and she said I probably am. I never looked into it because why would my hair be so curly? And I was like, okay, I understand that. So she said, and I asked her what school she went to, and she went to the same school that the black girl went to. And I said, wow, that led me to think that these two stylists were actually scared to get into the other cultures or to go outside of their norm, and it just boggled my mind that these two girls didn't know how to do their own racist hair. Yeah, so that just blew me away. I was just amazed that these two ladies of different cultures, this black girl and this white girl, couldn't do their own racist hair, And they went to the same school. I was just amazed. Which brings me to the conclusion: you can't judge a book by its cover, right? And I know we've ran into hairstylists of our own race that can't do our own textured hair, right? So you can't really. I think that's a myth now. With things being integrated and like we have Guy Tane. He's I want to say Asian. I hope I'm not wrong. I don't want to offend anyone, but I want to say he's Asian, and he can do a white girl's hair, an Asian girl's hair, and a black girl's hair. If you go onto his YouTube channel, you'll be able to see the different girls that he do with different textures and lengths and everything. He can do anyone's hair. Then we have Sam Villa. I don't know what he is. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what he is, but it is what it is. You can see that he's not black or he's not white or whatever he is. He can do everyone's hair. Black, white, Asian, whatever. Curly, straight, he can do hair, right? And then we have the infamous Kim Kimble. I love her so much. Y'all don't understand. I'm sounding like a groupie. But the infamous Kim Kimble, she's a black hairstylist and she can do anyone's hair. 9 times out of 10, if you've seen Beyonce, your A-list celebrities or anybody, B, C, D, whatever, your celebrities of different race and hair textures and lengths and everything, male or female, she can do it. So that stereotype, it is a stereotype. The other race can't do my hair. It's a stereotype because they can. You've seen it over and over. Hairstyles that you think a white person did, a black person did it. And hairstyles that you think that a black person did, a white person did it. And vice versa with the other race. Hairstyling is not a race thing. And that's what I loved about the beauty industry. It just goes and goes and goes and goes, just like we have white people wear weave, we have black people that wear weave, we have Asians that wear weave. I just love the beauty industry. And so if you are still skeptical about letting someone outside of your race do your hair, you ask questions, ask for pictures and ask that person, or tell the person your fears and, and ask them, what are you going to do to prevent my fears from coming a reality? And if that person can't tell you that I'm going to color your hair, and if your hair come out orange, I'm going to correct that with a toner. If they can't tell you that, then they're not professional and that's not the person for you. And then you have to also think about it. What if you were getting married, it's the big day, whether you're a male or female, you're a bride or the groom. You don't want to go down the aisle with a messed up haircut for the men or hair color, whatever the case may be. And for the women, you don't want to go down the aisle with messed up hair or even mediocre hair. It's your big day. All of the attention is on you. You want to look your best. by any means necessary. And so what if you have scheduled an appointment with a certain stylist, a certain barber, a certain makeup artist, or esthetician to provide services for you for that big day, and they can't do it, be it because they have gotten into a car accident, they had death in their family, something that isn't preventable, or they are unprofessional and just can't do it, right? And so you have done your research, you've tried to find someone, and time is passing, time is ticking, and you have come across your last resort, which is someone outside of your race, right? And you see that they have done beautiful hair, but you haven't seen your own race. But this is your last resort, right? Are you not going to go to that hairstylist because they are outside of your race? I challenge you guys to, if that situation ever comes about, and if you don't have a hairstylist and you like what this hairstylist is doing, but you wonder if they could do it to your hair, ask the question. Ask the questions, and sometimes you can make a deal with them. You can make a deal with them. If my hair don't come out right, how are we going to correct this situation? And it could be whether you get a discount or a free hairdo or something like that. Just make a deal with them. And that's what I would do. But, besides that, hairstylists nowadays are multicultural, and that's what I love about it. They are multicultural. We have the black people that can do the white people hair. We have the white people that can do the black people hair. But then you have to think about it. We have biracial kids that are coming up now. We have biracial adults. We have a white person with curly hair. And then we have a black person with bone straight hair naturally. So, times are changing. Things are changing, and you have to change as well. And that's the thought for today. You have to change. Your way of thinking sometimes hinders you from greatness. For me, it makes me feel bad. I want to say that. And I know other hairstylists do, and some of them don't. They probably don't care, but I do. It just makes me feel like I'm not able, like I'm incapable of doing your hair. It makes me feel like, I don't know anything. That's just my opinion. Some other stylists, barbers, and makeup artists, they may not feel that way, but that is the way I feel. It makes me feel bad, like I'm not worthy of it, which I am. And when I was in beauty school, and I want to say I went to a predominantly black beauty school, but we did have people of other races that came in and got their hair did. And when they came, I shot up to the front and begged for them to be my client. Please, 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 let me do it. Let me do it. Because beauty school is when you're messing up. Beauty school is when you are able to mess up and not be prosecuted for it. You know what I mean? So I wanted to practice on everyone's hair so that I could be the best that I can be. But anyway, don't judge a book by its cover. Just because this person is not of your race doesn't mean that they can't do your hair. You just have to do some investigation. You have to do your research, ask questions, go and talk to their clients, and, do your research. And then I was in one of the makeup groups. You have your makeup groups on Facebook. You have the hairstyling groups on Facebook. I was in one of those groups, and one of the girls was doing her hair, and she was doing her hair in the way. Let me just say it. It was a white girl putting scalp braids in her hair, doing her hair in a crochet or something like that. And, that's not the norm. That's a black girl's hairstyle. And I'm not trying to, make anybody look bad or make any race look bad or make any race look good or whatever the case may be. I just felt some kind of way because, she was on a live video on Facebook and they were roasting her. I mean, they were roasting her, saying, you want to be black and all this other stuff there. And, things of that nature. They were roasting her and I felt bad. You know what I mean? Here it is. She was talking and she got frustrated because she have a biracial kid. You know what I mean? And her kid hair is curly. Is of the natural texture. And she was saying I had to learn how to do my own child's hair because nobody wanted to teach me. You know, stuff like that. I just felt really, really, really bad. And, you know, I know, race is a thing. It's not as big as it used to be, but, I reverse racism, like, whatever. I just felt bad for the girl, and I actually thought it was cool that she wanted to know how to do her daughter's hair. I thought it was real cool and not, make her daughter feel bad because, she's biracial and she has natural hair, when it comes to texture. I thought it was an awesome thing, but they gave her a real hard time. And I just got off the live. I didn't want to be fussing with anybody. I don't get on Facebook to argue with anyone. It is what it is. I go on Facebook to do research. Basically, to do research and promote. I'm going to be honest with you. And I have, casual conversations with people that I know. And I make comments that are not controversial, but I just really felt bad for her, but I also felt good for her daughter. Her mom is white, her daughter is black and white, and her daughter has natural hair, and her mom was intrigued and wanted to make sure her baby looked good. So, and I didn't want her baby to be teased because of it, and she loved her baby anyway. I love that. I love that, and I think that we should embrace the fact that someone else of another race can do our hair, because that wasn't allowed years ago. But nowadays, with the times changing, it's allowed. It's allowed. It's there. We are able. We are able, and it's just a crazy thing that we do, and the past that we dwell on, and we just have to move forward. So in conclusion, again, because I can keep talking and talking and talking. In conclusion, don't judge a book by its cover. If you're skeptical, ask questions. There are multicultural hairstylists out there. Sad to say there are stylists out here that don't want to do the other race's hair. And sad to say there are stylists out here that don't know how to do their own race hair. But, there are people who can do everyone's hair, regardless of what culture you're in, regardless of what ethnicity you're in. There are stylists that can do that. They are able. So, should you go to a stylist outside of your race? Yes, you should go to a stylist outside of your race, if you choose to. Because hairstylists are hairstylists. It's not about their skin color. It's not about, oh, she doesn't this and she doesn't that. Because stylists of this generation are multicultural. We learn on different hair textures, and it's evident, it's time for a change, and things are changing, and we as consumers need to get with it. So should we go to a stylist outside of our race? Yes. Do your research. I promise I won't steer you wrong. Thank y'all for listening. All right. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Hair Talk with Brianna. And if you guys would go on to www.hairwithbrianna.com and subscribe to our newsletter, you'll get notifications on when the next episode is uploaded. And as always, follow your girl on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Hair with Brianna. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys soon.